Hey everyone, I'm back with another Bishop Exchange video. So let's now take a look at the history of Bishop Exchange. So this is the basic position we saw in the previous video, diagram A, in which black and white are in identical position and it's black to play. So no move lost or gain here, right? And we've learned that we basically have three strategies to play here, climbing silver, rapid advancing silver, and reclining silver. So to start off, let's see which strategy black should be playing. Normally, one might want to try climbing silver, right? Because it's the most aggressive and pretty fast attack. So actually, this history too starts from there. First of all, Shogi tells us reclining silver is not good against black's climbing silver. Because, basically, it's simply vulnerable to this lance drop on 80, which I've explained in the previous video. So reclining silver is not good. How about then double climbing silver? Well, the thing is, we can't find much source on this opening. Double climbing silver might be an interesting strategy, but it's not common at all. And one of the main reasons for that is this. Actually, rapid advancing silver is already known to be a very effective countermeasure against black's climbing silver. One of the reasons is that, it covers this 80 square, thus making this lance drop to be a less threat to white. But this conclusion wasn't made so easily. It's the outcome of many years of struggles by professional players. And this is one of the most important joseki in Bishop Exchange, climbing silver versus rapid advancing silver, which is thought to be better for white. And if I were to show an example, here, this is an example of a position in the joseki. You see these two bishop drops here. These bishop drops are very famous moves. This one was found by Tsukada, and this one was invented by Masuda. A very famous joseki. Alright, so what's next? Well, black stops playing climbing silver, right? And what's next? Yeah, he starts playing rapid advancing silver himself. And since we know climbing silver isn't good against it, the professional players played many double rapid advancing silvers, like this, which is also one of the most important josekis in Bishop Exchange. However, it's not played now because they came to this simple conclusion, that if the rapid advancing silver is met with a reclining silver, rapid advancing silver doesn't work out very well. Basically, he'll try to defend like this, and he doesn't take this pawn like that. Yeah, so finally, they stopped playing rapid advancing silver too, okay? So, now what black should do? Is he going to play reclining silver now? Well, just a second. If you take a look at what we've seen earlier, we're seeing a very interesting situation here. You see, rapid advancing silver is better against climbing silver, but a reclining silver is better against rapid advancing silver, but climbing silver was better against reclining silver, right? So we're seeing a very interesting chain rule here. It's very confusing. So here's what it is. If black tries climbing silver, white will play a rapid advancing silver. But if you try a rapid advancing silver, white will play reclining silver. And if black plays reclining silver, white will play climbing silver. So always white can make it better for him, right? So what black should be doing here is he tries not to show his strategy. So he just pushes the edge pawn, 9th file or 1st file. So let's say 1st file. But if then white decides his strategy, then black will be better, taking advantage of that chain rule. So white won't show his strategy either. And he's going to reply to the edge pawn. either pawn to 1d or, well, let's say 9d for now. And since black doesn't want to show his strategy, he pushes this pawn and he pushes another one. Yeah, so finally, black has to decide which of the three he's going to play, right? And as I've mentioned earlier, black doesn't want to move his king too early here, nor he doesn't want to move his gold either. You know, this 3i square is too vulnerable to bishop drop. So anyway, he's going to have to decide his strategy. So here's an idea that black can come up with. That is, he can show that he's going to play rapid advancing silver. And then after white tries to go for reclining silver, black can now turn to reclining silver too with this pawn push, right? Thus, we finally come to this most famous Joseki in bishop exchange, double reclining silver. And if I were to show you one example here, this is very, very famous basic position of bishop exchange double reclining silver. It's known as the identical position diagram of reclining silver. And actually, the Joseki tells us that they're not supposed to castle their kings, and black should start attacking. That's the Joseki move, which I'm going to cover in detail in other videos, of course. And with the struggle of many professional players on this strategy, this position was thought to be a little bit better for black. You know, black basically takes advantage of this weak point of knight's head. But after that, then white came up with a good countermeasure against it. He found out this strategy where he doesn't develop his knight and just castles his king. Yeah, they castle like this. Well, I've said he's not supposed to castle, but when the knight is still on 8a, he can castle. I guess it's basically because this bishop drop on 4a is not a big threat to white when the knight is still in here, so the king doesn't have to defend the square. And moreover, this bishop drop too, I guess it's not a big threat when it's not attacking the knight on 7c. And this white strategy is what we call a whole defense formation. It's a pure defense strategy, so it means white is trying to make it a repetition draw. And if he does that, black couldn't make an effective attack against it and could only go for repetition draw. Well, of course, they tried very hard to find a way to attack, you know, like rook to 4h or bishop drop to 2f, something like that. They tried everything, but after their struggle, repetition was the conclusion after this position of white's whole defense formation. So finally, this is going to be the end of chapter 1 of the bishop exchange history. Black finally stopped playing bishop exchange since it would be met by repetition. Okay, but it's not the end of the whole history. Of course, there's chapter 2. So I'll talk about that in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it, and please look forward to it. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.